Welcome to Fantasy Football, not live. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Jeff.
No, you're not Jeff. Your name's Bob.
No, your name's Bob. I'm Jeff.
We go through this every time. My name's Jeff. Your name's Bob.
Your name's Bob. My name's Jeff. All set. Anyways,
Bob here. Jeff, me, and Bob here, we're gonna start telling you about some ways to win your fantasy championship before we go into an inside look on fantasy running backs. So, let's start with the draft. Bob, any immediate things that pop into your head that you should not do on draft day?
well, I had a minor altercation. I decided to smoke crack before 5 minutes before the draft, and that wasn't too good. So if I could recommend anybody not to do that, it'd probably be the best bet. Probably wouldn't draft Vince Young first round, or Tatupa, because he has a cool name. So other than that,
You're talking about Lofa Tatupu, right?
yes, that guy, or Hushimizu. He's a good one.
All right, Bob. Well, also it seems that you should give the audience out there some advice. Don't do crack before doing a fantasy show either.
Well,
Anyways, I was a newbie to fantasy football last year when I did my first draft. It started off great, got progressively terrible. Peyton Manning, second pick. Questionable. Could be debated that was bad or good. Take your pick. And then second round, I picked Jack Johnson. Why? Because I heard he beat a horse running in the offseason.
yeah.
Third round was
He didn't beat anybody in the real game, so.
he beat himself up. He beat himself into commercials.
Ocho Cinco. No go.
Exactly, Bob. Very creative.
Thank you.
Anyways, third round ended up Ronnie Brown. That was amazing until he died because of the Patriots. I'm glad they lost.
Did he lose his arm?
No, Bob. He tore his ACL.
Oh, that was a drummer from Def Leppard. Sorry.
Okay. Well, anyways, and then from there, the draft took a giant drop off because I ended up with, Cedric Benson, people I've never heard of before. So make sure to do your homework before your draft. Pick up any of these. ESPN's Fantasy Guide, Fantasy Football Index, or, excuse me. What the hell are you reading, Bob?
It seemed interesting. She looks like a good pick. She's got a strong upper body. Lower body frame is not too bad. She faked me out.
Okay, Bob. Well, anyways, so make sure, or you can just listen to us, and we'll guide you through who to pick and who not to pick. So, first off, draft well. First step of winning fantasy championship. Second step, make good moves in the offseason. My draft sucked. How did I end up 5th place out of 9 people? Even though my draft was horrendous, make a lot of moves. Never stay still.
Or call people at 3 o'clock in the morning till their ears bleed and they take a vote for you not to play in their league anymore.
Bob, I thought we said we wouldn't talk about that because you know how emotionally straining that was on me because all I wanted to do was talk to the fellow members of my league and give them what I thought was a good trade offer. Like, I know I was giving away too much, but I offered one of my fellow league mates, Lendale White, so that he would give me Brett Favre and LaDainian Tomlinson. Didn't work out. He said it was a bad trade. I still think he's wrong, but to each his own.
That's the worst trade-off I've ever heard. You couldn't find a rabbit who would make that trade for you. Let alone somebody at 5 o'clock in the morning. Anyways.
Bob, you can't even keep your story straight. Started off at 3, now it's going to 5, and I don't play with rabbits. Okay,
Oh.
Bob?
He plays with rabbits, alright.
You play with yourself.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Anyways, but seriously, make a lot of moves. See, check out the free agent. Because picking up people that develop in the season, like I did pick up Ryan Grant, and he developed over the course of the season into a viable starting running back, what we will be looking at later today. Don't laugh at me, Bob.
Sorry.
Anyways, third step is, like Bob was mentioning, make some trades. Let's give you some examples of good trade offers. Though my initial trade offer is debatable, let's good trade offers. Bob, any?
First, before you decide to make a trade, make sure the person is awake and in the normal state of mind. And like Bob over here,
I'm Jeff, Bob.
whatever, that guy next to me. Make sure the person's awake. Make sure you've only called him once, not 12 times. And make sure he's alive before you decide to do the trade. But as a trade is, I really believe that a trade is a trade. That's all I gotta say.
Well, Bob, as usual, your contributions are invaluable. I don't know what the show would do without you.
It would blow.
Okay? Something you and the show have in common. Okay? Take that. Yeah. A little bit of that.
Below that every day of the week.
Okay, Bob. Well, anyways, make sure that you're getting good value off your trade. And a pretty cool little trick to do is what you do is trade quantity for quality. Say I have a couple receivers that, my receiving core is doing good. I have some good stud players on there, but then I have some other guys that are pretty good in their own right, but aren't studs. Say 2 or 3 guys. And then I need to fix up my running back core. So I want just one quality running back for my 2 or 3 pretty good receivers. Usually that'd be considered a pretty good trade. So quality for quantity. And always make sure it benefits you. And another tip for fantasy in general, look at the bye week. Because you don't want to have your entire team absent week 9.
That could be devastating. And might shed a tear.
I shed a tear. I think it could mess up my bladder for a while. Maybe give me some.
I'd like to pick up her week 9. That'd be pretty good. You could take a look at that. Yes, sir.
Obviously a monster touchdown scorer.
Oh, yes.
I mean, she really blows a big game.
And she shoots the whole hard.
Okay. That's the third step. Fourth step is start watching as you get closer to playoffs. Start watching what players on your team are doing really good as far as the team in general, because what happens is some players might get rested that week 16 or fantasy championship week. And if that happens, my friends, then you need to start looking for good other options to plug them in. People that can give you good results. Backups that you know have performed well when needed. Somebody that you know has looked for matchups. Because when you set your fantasy roster, you want to look for matchups each and every week.
Good
So
matchups. It's a key. Go ahead.
Thanks, Bob. So that's step 4. And step 5,
How many steps are there?
there's 5 steps, Bob.
There's
5 steps.
This is a long staircase.
Okay, 5 steps.
All right. Keep going.
Okay.
Step 50. Go.
You know, Bob, I just laugh so that I don't get upset at you. Okay, I hate my job.
I'd hate it if I would like you to. Anyways.
Thank you, Bob. Anyways, step 5, win. Some things to be said for those who win the championship. Because you know what? Those are the winners. Then there's no other way to put it. They win.
That's
When the
kinda
big game's
key.
on the line, they win. They say, no, I won't lose. They don't look like this guy. He obviously lost. Yeah. Stand there and think about it. Losers are losers. Winners open their mouth like that.
Or look as pretty as him.
I didn't know you were coming out of the closet today, Bob.
No homo. No homo. Keep going.
All right. When we come back, we're going to stop for a short break. When we come back, we're going to tell you who's the number 1 running back that should be taken in all fantasy drafts. LT or AP. Battle of the initials when we return.